So now on the phone we have with us Mike Haslam, and Mike Haslam is from Haslam Law. How are you today, Mike?
I'm doing great.
Good.
How are you guys?
Doing great, thanks. Welcome.
So, Mike, talk to us a little bit about the importance of estate planning.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't think about estate planning too often because it's usually at the bottom of the list when it comes to fun things to think about. But it's actually a really, really important thing. And actually, in my background, I used to work in the hospice and home health industry, and I met a lot of families who, when their loved ones needed a plan, how it actually worked for them. And what I saw over and over again is that a lot of people had done some type of planning, but they really hadn't done it thoroughly or the right way. And so when it actually came time to need a will or a trust or a power of attorney, things were missing, and it made things a lot more difficult, a lot more stressful for their loved ones and their families.
I think I told you that what about the only thing that my parents had done is they'd both bought a funeral or a cemetery plot, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and that's a great start. It's good to start somewhere, but it's important to make sure all the bases are covered. And each one of these documents that people commonly see in estate plans, each have a purpose. And so when families don't have them, then it definitely makes things a lot more difficult.
Like, can you give us maybe like one major consequence of not having a plan?
Yeah, so probate's the one that comes to most people's minds first. It's a process with the courts of transferring somebody's assets if they've passed away, and it can be time consuming and it can be stressful and it can be expensive too, depending on each person's situation. So that's usually the first thing that most families want to avoid. For me, the biggest thing that I see is that we're living longer and our minds tend to go before our bodies do. So most of us experience some time where we're incapacitated. We're not able to make our own medical decisions or financial decisions. And so we really need a great plan and great people in place to look out for us. And I see over and over again where that gets missed, and it puts the person at risk, and it causes a lot of tough family dynamics.
Wow.
So basically, if anyone wants to do any kind of estate planning, give them like the first 2 or 3 things that they ought to do.
So I guess the basic 3 documents that everyone should at least have, whether you own $1 or $1 million, at least. You really should have a healthcare directive in place saying who's going to make my medical decisions for me if I can't. You should have a power of attorney document in place which covers financial decisions. And you should at least have a will in place that says, where do I want my things to go if I die? And then that's kind of the bare basic minimum that everyone should have. And then everything else kind of builds from there. And so there's a lot of other planning issues like avoiding probate and asset protection and planning for long-term care and all these things that then are added into and require different documents.
So with all this complicated stuff that needs to be gone through, you can help someone walk through that process and make it much more simple and less daunting, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're here for, and that's our focus, is to make it as easy as possible for the person to get the documents they need in place and to make sure they have the peace of mind that if they need these documents, they're done right and they're going to work the way they need them to for their family.
Hey, we're just about out of time, Mike, but can you tell us how someone can reach you and get some more information?
Definitely. Our office number is 801-951-0500, and our website's haslamlawoffice.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it. We want to have you back on because I know this is really an untouched area on our show, and I know we need more information on this.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me, and I'd love to come on anytime.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mike.
Welcome.
Now, if you weren't able to get all of Mike's information or any information that we've had in the show, you can call me at 844-981-0099 or email me, dennis@oneseniorsource.com, or visit the website at oneseniorsource.com.
Thank you so much for listening today. You're listening to One Senior Source Utah Radio on AM 860, Utah's Big Talker.